We just try to make sure I'm looking at. Uh, okay. Okay. So, assalamualaikum, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is our Muslim Collective's new program, Self Alignment Sessions. I am one of your hosts, Salima, and our other host is Basima. Wave to the people. And we'll go ahead and open up with dua, and then we'll get started for why we're here today. So we'll open up with Al-Fatiha. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. And I'll translate that in English, excuse me. With the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the cherisher, sustainer of the worlds, the most gracious, the most merciful. Master of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we worship. Thee alone, your aid alone do we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those upon whom you have bestowed your favor, not those upon whom have received your wrath, nor those who go astray. Ameen. And we always open up with a prayer asking our Creator to help and guide us in all things. And so, again, welcome to our first inaugural session of the Self-Alignment Sessions, which is a program put on by Muslim Collective, and I'll talk a little about who we are in a few minutes. But this program is designed with us as women in mind. There's a lot going on right now in the world, and we are looking to find balance in it all so that we are our best self. And so this is what this program is about. So today we are talking about our physical bodies and how it affects and what we are doing physically active and how that affects all areas of our lives and help us to achieve those balance. So with that, I will turn it over to our lovely co-host, Basima, and she'll take it from there.
Yes. Assalamualaikum. I am super excited to get started with moving on a Saturday morning. But before we do that, we wanted to just like give everybody a chance to just tell us a little bit like your name and where you're listening from, and like kind of do a little icebreaker to see who's on the call before we introduce our wonderful guest for today. So if we can, we'll just start with our name and where you're watching from. So I'll go first. My name is Basima Nance, and I am tuning in from Houston, Texas today. Uh, Fatima, would you like to go next?
Assalamualaikum. Hello, everyone. My name is Fatima Mohammed, and I'm tuning in from Houston. I'm in my office.
Awesome. Thank you, Fatima. Nora, are you able to share?
Assalamualaikum. I'm Nora. I'm tuning in from Houston, Texas.
Thank you. And I think we got a note from Farida saying that her mic wasn't working. So I guess we'll let you. We'll come back to you. And
Maybe she can type it in the chat.
yeah,
Just
that's
type in
great.
at least her location.
Yeah, Farida, where are you tuning in from today? That'd be great, and then I can read that. And Dr. Ali, would you like to go ahead and let us know where you're tuning in from?
Yes, and I am Dr. Ali, and I'm coming to you from Baltimore, Maryland.
Awesome. Thank you. And Farida is joining us from St. Louis. So hopefully we can get the mic working there. So awesome. We got some different representation from different places around the country. I love that. And Salima, you didn't get to go. Would you like to share?
Sure. I am Salima, and I am in Houston as well.
Awesome. Great. And we have someone else coming in and joining us now. So while they're joining, the next thing that we're going to do is just kind of like to kick off this whole fitness thing is, get a sense of how we're feeling fitness wise. And so I'm going to share a whiteboard now. And so just in the sense of being able to keep this completely anonymous and you can be honest. If you haven't used a whiteboard before in Zoom, what you'll need to do is up in the top where it says somebody's sharing their screen, there's an options and you'll have to go down to annotate, and that'll allow you to write on the whiteboard. But basically what we're looking for is just one word to describe your fitness journey right now. And so whenever you're ready, you can write one word or multiple words. I mean, we won't know because it's anonymous. So love it. Love it. Ooh, that's good. I'm seeing struggle, lifestyle, inconsistent postpartum struggles, lazy, semi-consistent stress relief. Awesome. I love it. We got both sides of the spectrum. We have some people who, could use the motivation, and then we have some people who it's like a lifestyle. Mental health boost. Awesome. Great, great, great. All right. So last call for any last words. And then we'll transition to Salima to give us a brief introduction about who we are and why we're doing this. Awesome. And I'm going to stop sharing now. Thank you.
Alrighty. So again, this program is being brought to you by Muslimat Collective, and I will just give a brief overview of who we are. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Excuse me. Make sure I share the right one. Okay. Here we go. So this is us. This is our logo, Muslimat Collective. And basically, we are an organization for women, focused on Muslim women, but not exclusively for Muslim women, who has a mission to model sisterhood support in four main areas: business, education, the social entertainment space, and service. And our goal ultimately is to just build community amongst women, women of diverse ethnic, racial, geographical backgrounds. So who are we? We are just a group of women who came together from various different backgrounds that was looking to create opportunities and fabulous social spaces for our sisters. We were created because we noticed that there was a lack of quality programs that focused on women in our community, that was focused on social gatherings outside of weddings and baby showers. And so we wanted to create a space where women of multi-diverse backgrounds could come and feel welcome and included in the programming that was offered. And we wanted that programming to be high quality and relevant to the lives of women in our city here in Houston. And with COVID and how things have changed and things have shifted more online, that opens us up to a larger audience where we can reach women all over the country and literally all over the world. But that our same principles hold true, that we are trying to create safe spaces and events that are of quality so that women have a space to gather and feel special. So what have we done? We have our signature event, the Beyond the Veil Fashion Show, which we have been has been held in April in 2017, 2018, 2019. We have shifted for 2020, so we are looking to hold it virtually and in this coming months, and I will talk about that later when we have a little bit more to share. But it's also a fundraiser, so we have been able to raise about $14,000 over the course of those 3 years of doing it. We had our first Sisters Iftar back in 2019. Unfortunately, because of COVID, we weren't able to do it for 2020. But inshallah, we hope to, Lord willing, be able to do it again in 2021. What I have not updated this slide is that we had our first Sisters Game Night, which was first Saturday in September. We aim to make that a monthly program, as well as this program of Sister Alignment Sessions will be the third Saturdays of the month. So we are young, but we are active, and we're looking to make a broader impact in our community. So this was our 2018 show, the Beyond the Veil Fashion Show, and it features designers, local designer, up and coming designers of modest fashion. We have models from over Houston, and we've had models participate from outside of Houston, of again different sizes, shapes, ethnic, racial backgrounds, to show that beauty comes in all different packages and sizes, and that we are here to celebrate each other and work with one another and support each other, and to show that modesty is indeed beautiful and diverse. So this was 2018, and again, we hope to bring it again in 2020 as well, inshallah. And so just so that you know how you can help us, you can make suggestions, you can volunteer, you can like and share our content from our social media pages. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Muslimat Collective. So that's the easiest thing you could do today, is to make sure you like our pages, check out our pages for information about upcoming events, spread the word. And we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, so you can donate to our cause. Here's all the different ways you can donate. You can donate on the website, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, or you can write us a check and send it in the mail. And I think that is it. So that is who we are. And we are grateful that you are here today joining us, whether you're joining us here on Zoom or you're watching us out there in Facebook land. Welcome. And inshallah, we hope you enjoy the program. So with that, I'll pass it back to Basima.
Yes. Thank you so much, Salima. And so I have the honor of introducing our wonderful guests. I'm super excited to get started. And so let's go ahead and do that. So Muslima Ali, who is a PhD and the fitness doctor, or the fitness doc, is a doctor of anatomy and neuroscience with her degree from Howard University. She is a fitness expert, community health advocate, and a science educator. As the founder of Fit and Healthy You with Dr. Ali, she crafts unique health and fitness programs to educate, motivate, and inspire individuals to grow through a healthy lifestyle evolution. Oh, love that. A fitness inspiration and recreational athlete, Dr. Ali is a marathoner, triathlete, and health foodie. Dr. Ali is a certified group fitness instructor and Zumba and Strong by Zumba instructor. She has facilitated national distinct health and fitness programming, such as the fun annual January pitch photo of a day challenge and 5 rounds fit camp, which are efficiently designed for all fitness levels. As an RRCA certified run coach, she has trained over 150 people to successfully compete in 5K, 10K, and half marathon races. Muslima's leadership as a Muslim woman athlete is highlighted in a feature in the Huffington Post for successfully leading the first all-Muslim women's Ragnar Road Relay Team a relay race of 200 plus miles over 2 days. Wow, in Washington,
Wow.
D.C. Wow, that's amazing. She is also the co author of Ramadan Ready, a holistic spiritual guide for Muslim women. As a community health advocate, Dr. Ali works with hospitals, universities, community health organizations, and religious institutions to provide a practical, hands on approach to health education. Her work is most impactful in underprivileged populations, particularly low income households, women, and senior citizens. She facilitates evidence based programs targeting chronic disease prevention and management, nutrition education, and falls prevention for seniors. Dr. Ali is passionate about improving health outcomes and quality of life for those least likely to have easy access to good standards of care. A native of Savannah, Georgia, and current resident of Baltimore, Maryland, when Dr. Ali isn't in the gym, engaging the community, or logging miles on the pavement, she can be found exploring the globe with her husband Tariq and homeschooling their 4 wonderful children. So, ladies, if you'll join me in welcoming Dr. Ali. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. So excited to be here. Thank you all for the invitation for this inaugural session. So I hope that we do you right out there. So yeah, I am really excited, as you stated in my bio. I'm very passionate about working particularly with women, being a woman myself, and those who come from underprivileged backgrounds. I've spent a number of years working in inner city Baltimore, bringing health and fitness programming to residents there through their recreation centers, through some hospital sponsored programming. So the programming was allowed to be free for the residents, and we saw some, and that's what we mean by evidence-based. We saw drastic improvement. We were charting them from their medications to their quality of life, and all health is really intertwined. There's not physical health over here. Okay, I'm going to do this one thing, and then I'm going to work on my mental health over here. It's all really intertwined. So you start improving in one aspect and all other aspects hopefully improve as well. So that is our goal. And that's what I have seen in my years of working in this type of arena, that really you start working on one and it really helps to kind of boost all of the rest of them. And it just really takes their life on kind of a different type of level, and a fullness and a richness for understanding your body, how it works, and how what you do, what you read, what you think about, how you breathe really impacts your overall well-being. So today, what I'm going to be speaking about for a little while is I'm going to talk about finding your fitness. I get asked all the time because I do enjoy a variety of fitness. Running is probably my #1 favorite because I can easily strap on my shoes and go outside. I don't have to go to a gym or go someplace to really do it, or look up a video online or anything like that. So running is hands down my favorite, but I enjoy all aspects of fitness. But how to find your fitness? People say, how do I start running? But I really hate running. Then why do you want to run? Like, why would you do something that you hate doing? Why don't you start by doing something that you actually like doing, right? Then maybe you might like running, you might not, you might never like running, and that's perfectly fine as long as you're moving your body and finding ways to exercise. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and start my presentation. Give me a moment to share my screen here. Okay, so find your fitness. Exercise is medicine for the brain. We don't often think of exercise as medicine. We think of medicine generally as something that you take like once you get sick, or something to cure a disease. But medicine can also be something, especially in the holistic world, is something that is preventative, and it's preventative measures that you take from becoming sick, right? So it's exercise is good for your body, but it's also medicine for the brain. So what happens to your brain when you exercise? So especially in cardio, in cardiovascular exercise, your heart rate increases, that pumps more blood to your brain, which means more oxygen gets to your brain. You release hormones called endorphins specifically. Those endorphins help to combat stress. It helps to make you feel good. It helps to promote sleep. And we are very like sleep deprived in this society. This hustler mentality, this capitalistic mentality has us thinking that all we are supposed to do to be alive is to make money and never sleep. And that is just 100% backwards. Sleep is very necessary. It's vital for our bodies our cells to rejuvenate, our bodies to rest and repair so that we can be good and well to live the next day. Also, exercising helps to diminish the perception of pain. And that is specifically if we're talking about people who have arthritis or chronic illness, that even in those disorders, that exercising helps to kind of decrease the perception of that pain. Exercising also promotes brain plasticity, which means that we think of our brain as this immobile kind of organ, but we really are making imprints and leaving little markers on our brain every time we learn something or every time we try something new. And brain plasticity is very good for longevity and battling like dementia and Alzheimer's. So it promotes brain plasticity by stimulating the growth of new connections between neurons and cortical areas of the brain, which also promote executive function and decision making. So when we say, oh, my brain is foggy, my brain is cloudy, sometimes taking a nap will help, sometimes drinking water will help, and also exercising can really help you have a clear mind and a clear brain, particularly exercising in the morning. It really helps to boost your brain activity and then help you to be ready to take on the day. So the benefits of exercise on mental health, we were kind of chatting a little bit earlier about just the toll that being in social isolation is really taking on us. And we don't even probably realize how serious it is because we're all navigating it prayerfully the best way that we can, but how it's a very different existence for all of us. And what is really coming out is the effect of our mental health. It's kind of a mourning or grieving period of our normal routines, of our natural routines, the things that we typically do every day, whether you were commuting or to go to work, and kind of that alone time that you had in the car, how you don't really have that anymore. You're home by yourself, which is a challenge if you live by yourself. If you live with family members or a roommate, that's also just 24/7, the nonstop, and the effect that has on our brain. We don't really know our mental health. We don't really know. And a lot of aspects, I'm seeing a lot of people saying, that's wonderful, I'm spending more time with my family. And I think that is great, but then not kind of having that alone time, and then the places or the outlets that you might have normally experience not really being readily available, from physical massages or salons and things like that, just being a little more weary about going those places in this pandemic. So when you exercise invigorates your cardiovascular, so your heart, and your neuromuscular, your brain and your muscles, and it shows promising effects on the mood, your attention, and memory. I know for me, I can be a little bit stressed. I go for a run and I think about it, talk to myself about whatever it is that I'm a little bit stressed about. And then the physical act, like it showed in the previous slide of exercising, helps to just really boost those positive hormones in your brain. Exercise has been proven as an early treatment instead of drugs on mental health. And especially as more and more research is coming out about mental health disorders such as anxiety and depression, certain forms, right, might not necessarily be complete mental health disorders, but responses to trauma. And that if instead of those that are not as severe, instead of giving those clients drugs, that may be a holistic approach, including exercise, can be more effective in treating those early as opposed to just pushing drugs right away. Because we always know that prescription drugs typically have side effects, and those side effects aren't always positive. So exercise has been proven to combat the effects of chronic pain on mood. We touched on that a little bit earlier, specifically in our elderly populations with arthritis, back pain, knee pain. I've done lots and lots of falls prevention and walking programs with elderly, and a lot of them come to me with pain and just moving. And actually what they think is you're in pain, so you sit still. And what you want to do is the opposite of that. You're in pain, so you move a little bit. You take easy movement, gentle movement like walking, and that actually helps to relieve the effects of chronic pain. Okay. Moderate cardio activity provides an almost instant effect on mood. It really does. If nothing else, it'll tire you out so you don't have time to be upset anymore, right? And then it boosts your self-esteem. It's something that you know it's good to exercise. So it's like, hey, I exercised today, check that off my list, check things off your to-do list. You're doing good, something good for yourself. And that always helps you to feel good. So there are 4 general types of exercise. There's endurance exercise or cardiovascular exercise. And during these exercises, they're designed specifically to increase your breathing and heart rate. So that would be walking, vigorous walking, running, jogging, swimming, cycling, jump rope, skating, all of those types of exercises. Strength exercise, we add weights to make a muscle stronger. You can use body weight. You can use resistance bands, lifting weights, kettlebells, all of those things. Those are strength exercises. Balance exercises help to strengthen our core and prevent falls. And this is something that is typically kind of neglected in exercise. We think about getting a 6-pack or getting an 8-pack or whatever, abs workout is there. But the goal ideally is really not to get that physical definition. Well, not to avoid that, but that shouldn't be the focus, to get the physical definition, but to strengthen the core, because the core is what's responsible for our upright posture. And as we age, our posture continues to kind of slouch. If you have breastfed at all, you probably suffer from some postural, probably need some postural adjustments. So having a strong core helps us to sit upright, stand upright, and it helps us to prevent falls. And falls prevention is really important because it is one of the things that typically land elders in the hospital. And then once they go in the hospital for something that is not a life-threatening disorder, then sometimes, because they're not really high on the priority list, then infections can set in, or pneumonia, or other things that just happen because you go to a hospital where sick people go, then that can lead to death. And so falls prevention itself, falling itself is not something that typically leads to death, but then going to the hospital and then the kind of cascade of events that happens from there can lead to death. So we want to be kind of careful about that and improving our core and our balance. And then there's flexibility, where you increase the range of motions around a joint. So that's where you will see your yoga, your gentle movements, your Tai Chi, Qigong, or that's flexibility and balance. And a very ideal fitness program has all 4. And while you might have cardiovascular or strength training in a larger amount, as far as time is concerned, you still want to make sure that you're balancing out your exercise routine with core strength and flexibility. So then finding your fitness. We were kind of chatting a little bit about what I just said about, people wanting to do something, but you have to find what you like the most. So pick whatever it is that you can see yourself doing, and it doesn't even have to be every day or all day, and that is your fitness. Do what you like the most. And in these days where gyms might not be readily accessible, or we might feel a little bit weary about going to gyms, there are lots and lots of options, which is good. There's digital streaming, of fitness coaching, like Beachbody, Daily Burn, Glow, Peloton. All of those are very reputable programs and very good. And they don't typically cost that much money. The investment is sometimes the amount of a bottom tier gym, or even less. And then there's YouTube and Instagram. There is a lot of information out there on YouTube and Instagram, and there are some very good fitness professionals. And then there's brother man and sister girl from around the way who happen to be fit, right? And so just be careful if you are going on YouTube or Instagram to follow people there. Make sure that they are certified. Make sure they're certified, and whether that's ASCM, which is the American College of Sports Medicine, American I forget what AFAA stands for, but they will have certifications. They will have letters behind their names. They're certified in Zumba, and that should say that not just on their like bio, but they should be, if you would go to Zumba, for instance, .com, then you would be able to see your instructor there, and whether they're actively teaching classes or not, then they should be listed as being like a certified person. And ideally, if they are then just promoting any other fitness, that they have their accreditations and they're being honest about that. But do make sure that you are trying to make sure that you're following someone who is certified. And then the last but definitely not least piece of advice is to go outside. Go outside. It's even if you're wearing a mask or you're social distancing, outside is free. Outside is clean air, and we need it. The sun, we need to breathe the air, we need to smell the grass, go outside. And we can play, right? Everything doesn't have to be, I'm going to go exercise. We can play. We can grab some hula hoops, grab some skates, grab a jump rope, your bicycles. I've seen so many people biking now, and I think they're largely sold out. I don't think they can reduce them fast enough because people are taking that up. Hiking, explore your areas with hiking and nature trails. That's something that our family has taken up this summer a little bit more. And never underestimate the power of a good walk. Just, oh, I need to walk. I'm just gonna go outside for 10 minutes, 20 minutes walk. You'll be surprised at how fast that will go. A 20-minute walk is 10 minutes away from your house and 10 minutes back, and you've walked for 20 minutes. So tips to overcome barriers and achieve success when embarking on or continuing or maintaining an exercise regimen. A, make an appointment with yourself. Just as you would make an appointment with your doctor or your dentist or whomever, make an appointment with yourself. My family knows that on Sundays, typically after Fajr, once about the sunrise, sun comes up, mommy's gonna go for a run. And I know that. I stick to it for myself. They stick to it. They respect it. So we know that that's not the time that we inundate mommy with questions or anything like that, because I'm pretty much going to be getting ready to go outside. So I make an appointment. I take it very seriously. I keep my appointments. And then those around me are respectful of that time. Start small. You want to set realistic goals. I'm going to exercise 7 times a week for an hour a day. And when was the last time you exercised? 5 years ago. That might not be, so realistic. So maybe the walk is something you start with, or something 2 times a week or 1 time a week. Whatever it is realistic, I can commit to 1 time a week. And that 1 time a week, you give it your all, you make it your best 1 time a week, and then you do it, you feel good, you have positive reinforcement, you'll do it again. Do what you love first. So if you love dancing, you love Zumba, do that. You love walking, you like that. You want to jump rope or do some circuit training, you really feel like you want to kickbox or hit a bag, do that. Do whatever it is that you love. And ideally, you'll fold in some of those other aspects that we talked about as far as balance and flexibility and things of that nature to make a complete fitness routine. And then you do those things by adding on gradually. You involve people in your household. I hear that a lot from men and women. Oh, I'm working out, but my husband isn't, or vice versa. I'm working out, but my wife won't do it. That's fine. You do what you're doing, and maybe every so often you involve them. Hey, won't you come on a walk with me? Or let's go outside and toss this ball. Things that we used to do that we've kind of gotten away from because we're in front of these computers all day. Those simple habits of involving the family. Everybody get a bike and we go, or scooter or what have you. I know we'll as a family, occasionally we will go out and walk, and the children are on their bicycles, pushing the baby in the stroller. Everybody's out just moving and trying to make it something that we do together. And if you allow healthy exercise habits into your life, then you start to allow them to positively influence other aspects of your health. Hey, I worked out today for an hour, so I'm probably, what we want to encourage is then that leading to good decisions in eating, and that leading to good decisions in other aspects of health, mental health. So if you worked out, then maybe the best thing isn't to do is to immediately have a pizza, or you'll think about that as you're going to have pizza. Like, maybe I just worked out and I did something really good for my body. Maybe instead of a pizza, I can, or in addition to a pizza, I can have some salad as well, or just continuing to make other positive decisions when it comes to letting the exercise start to kind of seep over and creep over into other aspects of your health. So recommended exercise by age. Children age 3 to 17 need 1 hour of physical activity daily. It doesn't have to be structured, and overwhelmingly, if you put them outside, they will find something to do. Include cardio and strength building. And by strength building for younger ages, it's not weightlifting or anything like that, but climbing trees, climbing rocks, climbing logs, walking across stumps. There is a baseball field, and it has, the back part that has the fence. So it's a recreational baseball field, and our children climb up the fence sometimes all the way to the top, and they'll climb back down. Those are strength building exercises. For adults ages 18 to 64, 5 hours of moderate exercise or 150 minutes of vigorous exercise. So that's more like 30 minutes 5 times a week of vigorous exercise, or you might be following along with an instructor per week. And so you want to include all 4 modalities: cardio, strength training, balance, and flexibility there. And then for seniors, they have 2.45 hours of moderate or 75 minutes of vigorous exercise weekly. And of course, their vigorous exercise would not be the same as the adults in the younger age, but still be enough to increase their heart rate and give them a little boost as well. And for seniors, we absolutely want to have balanced exercises as part of their regimen. Okay. So that concludes my presentation. We're going to be taking some questions. If you want to email me, you can email me there. And if you want to follow me on Instagram and Facebook, I'm at Dr. Ali Fitness Doc on all social media platforms. I tend to, I'm going to go ahead and come out of this. I do group. I don't do personal training because I really don't see that as effective as group training sessions. So one of the things we just kind of came off of this summer was this Eat to Eat program. It was an 8-week program of international people were all over the world. We had fitness professionals. It was 7 of us from all over the world. And I find that having cohorts really helps with the accountability and kind of sticking with the program. A personal training session, you meet with somebody 1 time a week, 2 times a week, unless you're rich and you have somebody in your house, you're just on call. But most of us are kind of meeting with somebody once or twice a week at the gym. And typically that's not as effective as a group and taking you through a group program for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks. So we tend to do those things. And the way to find out about those first is to follow me on social media, because I'm always coming up with cool ideas there. So if anyone has any questions, I am open and available for that.
And just as a, also, if you have questions online, put it in the chat and we will ask Dr. Ali your questions as well. But the floor is open.
I have a question.
Yes.
You talked about balance. What type of exercises are for balance and core specifically?
Balance and core. So balance, a lot of the yoga poses. So we're talking about like a tree pose or things like that. So balance will not be as intense as a strengthening or a cardiovascular. Like you typically wouldn't spend an hour or really too much over 30 minutes just doing balance. And even in yoga, you incorporate it in some of the moves. So there are, I would definitely recommend yoga for that. Also, in a lot of your structured programming, for example, in a Zumba, while it's cardiovascular, a lot of those moves also include core moves and balance training. So the very structured fitness formats typically include all of those. If you were to go to a gym in, what's one of the national ones, Les Mills, if you take Les Mills classes, or if you've heard of MOSA, I'm a MOSA instructor, we include balance as it's incorporated in every single one of our classes, and core for that matter, it's incorporated in all of our classes. Core, now, so when we say core, because a lot of people think just abs, core is everything from your shoulders to your hips. So it includes your chest, your abs, and your entire back. So for that, strengthening exercises, things like push-ups, planks is a huge full core exercise. So things that are ab specific are also core exercises, but it's important to also remember your back. So those would be like swimmers, Pilates. That's another one I didn't mention. So Pilates is a lot of core exercises as well. And
I
once
was
again,
just
that's
wondering.
something that you could incorporate, if you're doing an hour-long routine, then 5 to 10 minutes, you want that to be balance, flexibility, and core.
I was just wondering because you mentioned uh, breastfeeding and how if you ever breastfed for a long period of time, you definitely have some balance issues.
Probably.
Yeah, I was just thinking about personally when I went to the chiropractor, he was saying how like, uh things were shifted after bearing kids and all of that type
Absolutely.
of stuff.
Absolutely.
So I was like, okay, maybe I need to incorporate some more
Yes.
core balance and core exercises.
Yes, those things that
Yeah,
we tend to, oh, look at the baby and you're hunched over.
yeah,
And so remembering to draw our shoulders back and down as we sit and stand, and then intentionally working on those areas definitely help to improve your core. And for women, yes, I think a yoga routine is pretty vital, especially if you've had children, and or a Pilates is pretty vital too. And it's not specifically, I don't like how so much of the fitness world is specifically on how you look, because it's not just about how you look, while that might help with your self-esteem, but it's really about maintaining an upright posture and
right.
maintaining a certain level of strength, so that you don't topple over later on in life, and so that you have a good quality of life as you continue to age. So that's really important. It's not always just about, what your physique is. I like what Salima said about earlier about modesty coming in all different packages. Fitness does too. Fitness does too. And we don't want to be on one extreme or the other. There are fitness models that are starving themselves out there. And then there are people who are borderline 600-pound life. And we, especially as Muslims, should be setting the tone for the middle of the road and taking the moderate path. And so we want to make sure that what we're doing is in moderation, that we are trying to live a balanced life, in that aspect as well.
Assalamualaikum.
Are there any other questions?
Can you hear me, Muslima?
I can, yes. Assalamualaikum.
Hey, Assalamualaikum. Alaikum assalam. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Glad I could make it on. And my question was, so for people who may be consistent with exercise, or even people who haven't done it in a very long time, I know for me, and I've spoken to other people, like it's getting your mind like worked up, like getting yourself mentally prepared and like being able to eliminate all of the stresses and the realities that you have and like carve that time. If it's something that you're not doing on a consistent basis, sometimes just the thought of everything you have going on, you just don't have the motivation, right, to kind of put on some sneakers and get moving. So what are some tips that you have when you have those stresses, you have those mental barriers, to kind of push through? And I don't know if you already answered it. I came in a little tardy, but push through. How do you push through? Like, for example, I work out regularly, but when I like the first week of school, nothing. Like if I have some situation with a family member and that's stressing me out, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like when everything's good, then I can go back and do it again. So how do I push through when it's nothing?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. First thing I would definitely recommend, is be easy on yourself, be easy on yourself, be easy on yourself. That's just like first and foremost. We are so hard on ourselves, particularly as women, because we have so much to do, like all the time. And even when we don't have things to do, we have things to do. And it's rare that we're doing like one thing at a time. My run this morning also included me listening to music to go over choreography for a class that I'm teaching, right? And it's always like, okay, yes, and I'm sitting here doing these little moves as I'm running, and that's sometimes the nature of the beast, right? And then, like you said, life happens up and down. First, Baina, forgive, you have to tell yourself, and I talk to myself like I'm somebody else. Like if you were a friend of yours, what would you say? You would say, Baina, chill out. You did work out last week. You worked out heck for the last 20 weeks and you had one off week. Girl, it's okay. It is okay. So sometimes you have to be your own best friend. And you have to
Right.
say, me not working out for a week is not going to undo everything that I've done. It really, and it won't. For real, it won't, right? then it's like, okay, yep, that's right, girl. You're right. You're right. It's not going to undo. You've had a stressful week. You're allowed to have a stressful week. You're allowed to take time off. You are allowed to not feel like it. That's allowable. That's absolutely allowable. We also want to be careful of feeling like we just have to and we have to and we have to. I try to make my intention for sure the night before, but there's some mornings when I'm just like, nope, not going to happen. And it just doesn't happen. And you have to be okay with that. And it's good to sometimes even just do that so you get in the habit of it happened and I didn't die and you were okay. Because sometimes that is really your body also saying whether you want to like feel like it or not, like you needed that rest. Your body does need rest from exercising it, particularly if you work out a lot. But then you're right, getting back into it. So man, I haven't worked out in a week. How do I get back into it? Do it. It really is no secret. It's nothing I can tell you, but just do it. Do it one time. You never regret a workout, right? Have you ever gone to work out or done something and be like, man, I really did not enjoy having gone outside. I could have, should have been doing X, Y, Z. All those things that you think you're supposed to be doing, they're going to be there whether you do them or not, because it's just going to roll into the next day. So it's just going to be there. It's just going to be there. It is. So just do it. This really is nothing deeper than that. And it might not be the whole thing, right? So normally maybe you put in an hour and a half or an hour. Man, I really don't have time for an hour and a half or an hour. That 10-minute walk, trust when I tell you, and I'm saying this because with how old is the baby? 9-month-old, it's not always the whole what I want it to be. Or, even as a homeschooler, I try to have a schedule. And if I only have an hour before we're supposed to start, then I only have 30 minutes to work out instead of my hour that I normally have. So it might not be the whole thing, but go back to that starting small. So maybe it's instead of jumping back into everything, then jump back in to 20 minutes. I do recommend a minimum of 20 minutes to kind of start to feel like, okay, I did a little something, feeling bad, feeling myself, 20 minutes. But be easy on yourself first and foremost. And I mean this in general, but especially now, we're dealing with so many changes. Like I said, I don't even think that we're really going to be fully aware until we come out of this, whatever that means. But to really be easy on yourself first and just be easy on yourself and be easy on yourself. And then like, hey girl, you're all right. Check in with yourself as your own best friend. And then go ahead and pick up those shoes and walk outside for 20 minutes. And then you'll feel better. And then hopefully we'll kind of get on that positive train again.
Thank you.
But do it, girl, next week. Or the week
Next
after.
next Monday. I'm gonna start on Monday. Hopefully
Okay.
Monday I'll be back on.
And I feel you because we started this week as well. And so I was like, all of my workouts this week have been shorter. They absolutely have been shorter than what I typically would do because school started. And then I was like, oh man, I'm not really doing what I need to do. Sometimes tracking your workouts can help because even though I did shorter ones, I did a few more. I actually ended up going out a little bit more. So I ended up doing a similar amount, but it was just like, you needed the rest anyway. The seasons are changing. It's getting cold. You don't need to be out there getting sick and everything. So yeah. Those things, allowing for those downtimes when life happens is completely normal and completely like good sometimes to reserve your energy. We only have a certain amount, right? We might feel like we have endless amounts. I even feel like I have endless amounts, but we really only have reserves in certain amounts. So this week, your energy needed to be here instead of so much on fitness. And then when this kind of balances out, then you can kind of give your energy back to exercise.
Thank you.
Any other questions before we move a little?
I have a question. I love everything that you've said so far. Just, a lot of it is definitely speaking to my soul, almost like bringing me to tears. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I actually want to hear more about the figuring out what you like piece, because I feel like as an adult, that's something that I've struggled with. Like I was an athlete in school. Like I played basketball, I played softball, I played volleyball. That didn't go well, but I was like always like physically in something. And so I feel like part of my struggle as an adult, just in general, has been like, okay, I think I like the competitiveness of like team sports and stuff. And then even now with everything going with COVID, like it's a little harder to even try to find that. But like, so I'll do like a run, which I don't really like running. I'll go and do like a body pump class, and that's okay. But it's like I still feel like I've been struggling to find that thing that just like makes me want to do it. So any help.
How do you find what you like? Ooh, getting to know yourself again. Okay. I think that the best way to do that is honestly just keep trying different things. And something might not stick to you like competitive sports does. That brings out a lot of different things, and that's okay too, right? So you might not get that high, that adrenaline rush that you're looking for from competitive sports. So kind of being realistic about your expectations in that manner. So that might not happen. So that might not happen. That's okay. So we have pie in the sky. The pie in the sky is I get, I get to be a recreational athlete on my basketball league, right? That's pie in the sky. So let's go. We just go hang. We're gonna touch a cloud. So touch a cloud is this is good. I kind of liked it. You don't seem to like running. Stop. Body pump seemed to be something that you kind of was like, oh, I might revisit this. Also, when you talk about group classes in a setting, even if you feel like the instructor was okay, maybe try a different instructor. You might just gel and jive well with a different instructor if you're following along. Then continue to try different things. Kickboxing might be up your alley, or even people who tend to have a left feet. That's why I like to do Zumba, because people who even feel like they can't dance always end up moving, and that's better than nothing, and at least having fun, right? You smile, you laugh, you feel a little silly, and you might end up having fun. So then also throwing in something that might be fun, skating or something like that as well. I would just recommend, without breaking the bank, just to continue to try different things. I feel like you do owe it to yourself to explore just a little bit more before you kind of say, okay, it's either basketball or nothing else. And I don't think I'm not saying that's where you are, because it doesn't sound like that's where you are. It definitely seems like you're just a little frustrated with not having found that thing yet. But just keep going. And if there was a class that you thought was okay, or even if you feel like you might like the benefit, I really might like the benefit of lifting weights. For example, for me, I like when I do lifting weights, I like to then okay, give myself a little goal. It's September now. I'm lifting 10 pounds. Yeah, maybe by New Year's, I'll be able to lift 15. So then I have my own little competition with myself and see how strong I have gotten, in 3 months or 6 months or whatever the case may be. And in that way, you kind of make it your own little competition, not quite what you're used to, but get competitive with your own self as how many reps you could do or things like that. So maybe then bring in that competitive edge in there in that manner with yourself. But keep looking. I think that's definitely a little bit more to explore there.
You know what I was thinking, Muslima? They have this place, Basima, in Houston. I don't remember the name of it. Maybe it's like Mean Green or something. And they have like these different obstacle courses. And since you like competition, like I was thinking, so a person who's used to like team sports or something, like Muslima was saying, like keeping yourself like on a clock, like timing yourself. Because with sports, you have the clock on the basketball court,
Yep.
or like the track, whoever. And so they have like these tire lift thing, and you can do that push thing. Like they have different things you can do, and you can just time yourself. And sometimes they have groups, so you're with other people, and that could be, because I think the competitive thing, like you said, is what you like. So something where you're either timing yourself and doing different obstacles, like Muslima has said, or with a group of people going through the obstacle and competing for your time. But I'm gonna try to send you the name of that place.
Thank you.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Variety is definitely the spice of life. I get tired of running. So, I mean, as much as I like it, I get tired of it sometimes. So it's like, ugh, I gotta take a break and do something different, and just keep on trying something different until, then I like running again.
Awesome.
Any more questions? All right, so if there are no more questions, I do want to do a little bit of movement. So we're going to do about a 10, 12 minute Zumba routine. I'm going to pull up. Are we doing okay on time and everything, hosts, co-hosts? We're good? Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep, I think we're doing great.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. All right.
So this is the point of this. So excuse me, I don't want to.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But this is the point in the program that we are standing up and we are going to follow along with Dr. Ali as she does a demonstration for us. And that includes you at home. So if you're watching on our Facebook Live, make some room and let's get this workout in. I'm going to move my chair so I can do it too, hopefully.
All right. So like I said, one of the things that I particularly appreciate about Zumba is that it is something that I do find fun. You should have fun doing it. Don't stress yourself out about going the right direction or anything like that. Just make sure that you're moving and continuing to have fun. Okay. So we're going to start with the warm up. Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear the music? Okay. All right. Arms up. Clap it out. March in place.
My friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun.
Raise the roof. Push it up.
Throw away the work to be done. Let the music play on.
So over here.
Everybody sing
Over
and
here.
everybody dance.
So
Lose yourself in a wild romance. We're going to
shake it up.
party, caramba, fiesta, forever.
Go to the other side.
Come on and sing
Oh.
it.
Shake it up.
Party, caramba, fiesta, forever.
Come back to the middle. V-step.
All night long.
Pop it back. Wide, wide, narrow. Wide, wide, narrow.
All night long.
Wide, wide.
All night long.
And kick it out.
People dancing all in the street. See the rhythm all in their feet.
Give a little smile.
Life is good,
Side
wild
to
and
side.
sweet. Let the music play on. Feel it in your heart and feel it in your soul. Let the music take
Get ready to shake it up.
Party, caramba, fiesta, forever. Come on and sing it.
Take it around.
Party, caramba, fiesta, forever.
V-step.
All night long. Oh, all night long.
A little hot back.
All night long. Oh, all night long. Once
Stay
you
here.
get started, you can't sit down.
Thumbs up to your glutes.
Come join the party, it's a merry-go-round.
Change your arms. Come out wide.
Everyone's dancing their troubled way. Come join the party, see how it plays.
Take it over. Over. Grapevine it. Step back. Get up. All right. A little bit warm. Okay.
Let me tell you, as soon as you said Zumba, oh, we ain't done? Oh, Lord. Here we go.
Push. Other side. Hey. Push. Here.
Everybody dance and bouge, bouge. Put your hands up, souke, souke. Shake your hips and hule, hule.
One.
Everybody dance and bouge, bouge. Put your hands up, souke, souke. Shake your hips and hule, hule. No todo le mundo que bouge. No todo le mundo que danse. No todo le mundo que chante. No todo le mundo que bouge. No todo le mundo que danse. No todo le mundo que chante. Get into the groove and move your body. Into the dance, grab somebody. You wanna wind up, say you wanna ride. Let the rhythm take you home. Right like you do the rodeo. When it takes you, let it go. Around the world. dancing Zumba. Oh. Everybody dance and bouge, bouge. Turn the souke, souke. Shake it and hule, hule. Everybody dance and bouge, bouge. Turn the souke, souke. Shake it and hule, hule. Move faster, I said dance like a shot. Make it some behavior. I said boom, 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 boom. To the left, to the right. I said dance like a shot. Make it some behavior. I said boom, 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 boom. To the left, to the right. Zumba, zumba, yeah, zumba, yeah, zumba, yeah. 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 Everybody dance and bouge, bouge. Turn the souke, souke. Shake it and hule, hule, oh. Everybody dance and bouge, bouge. Turn the souke, souke. Shake it and hule, hule, oh. People in LA, everybody up my still. People in Africa, bouge, bouge. Let me see you boogie, boogie, zumba boogie, oh. Boogie, bala, boogie, boogie, pembo boogie, oh. Let me see you boogie, boogie, zumba boogie, oh. Boogie, bala, boogie, boogie, pembo boogie, oh. Everybody at Dubai, people in Colombia, I want you to lose control. That's right, let's rock and roll. Bring it down and down to the floor. On your mark, get set, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, ready, go, 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 go. What's two? Let's go. Everybody dance and bouge, bouge. Turn the souke, souke. Shake it and hule, hule. Everybody dance and bouge, bouge. Turn the souke, souke. Shake it and hule, hule. Ha! Let me see you boogie, boogie, zumba boogie, oh. Boogie, bala, boogie, boogie, pembo
What kind of stuff they got?
me see you boogie, boogie, zumba boogie,
You want me to put your order in for you so them look at the menu. You already know what you want off the menu? Let me text her your menu.
4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Them more mistakes are gone. I won't do them no more. That's old news, that's news. I done did that before. I turned it into something. My comeback on 100. Let's talk it, more action. You just go see coming. I just keep elevating. No loss, it's just upgrading. My lessons make blessings. I turn that into money. They gotta never settle. This view is so much better. I'm chilling, I'm winning, like on another level. Oh, you can talk all you want. See me as a prayer, nothing I'm afraid of, and I can have it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. They frisbees drop like weight. Team up, I won't no hate. I'm grinding, I'm shining, up, on my way. They gotta never settle. This trap is so much better. I'm chilling, I'm winning, like on another level. Oh, you can talk all you want. See me as a prayer, nothing I'm afraid of, and I can have it all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No, you want this yummy, yummy all in your tummy. All this sauce so another level. Elevate your level. Level. Graduate your level. There's no one on it. Nah. Hey, all the sauce on level. On another level. Elevate your level. Level. Graduate your level. There's no one on it. Nah. Yeah. Level up. 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 All this on me so yummy. All this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy. Yummy all in your tummy. Level up. 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 All this on me so yummy. All this sauce so yummy. Know you want this yummy. Yummy all in your tummy.
Oh yes. A little bit of sweat, right? Just a little bit. All right, y'all.
Oye, baby,
Bring it down.
una muñeca como tú nunca creí.
Keep walking.
Pero llegaste. Figura de muñequita que me enloquece, qué mujer tan bonita. Me tiene loco, crazy de amor. Cuando la veo, late mi corazón. Morena hermosa, dame tu corazoncito bonito para llenarte de besos. Tú eres mi vitamina y mi fruta preferida. Corazoncito bonito, te subiste a mi cabeza. Quiero beber de tus besos. Tú eres mi postre de fresa. Amor. Eres mi amor. Amor. Tú eres mi amor. Amor.
Now we're gonna stay still.
Mi reina cosa bonita. I love you, baby, de mi cielo la brisa. I love you, I hold you, lady, en este cuento de amor. Mis noches, mi sol, mis sueños, mi voz. Te canta mi amor, oh, mi reina, mi consentida. Mi dulce amor en la playa, con mi café en la mañana. Mi canción, mi bachata, mi reina, mi consentida. Mi noches inquietas, la solución al problema. Mi canción, mi poema, eres tu amor. Amor. Tú eres mi amor. Amor. Bonita. Tú eres mi amor. Amor. Esta melodía es para ti. Corazoncito bonito. La. Dame tu corazoncito bonito para llenarte de besos. Tú eres mi vitamina y mi fruta preferida. Corazoncito bonito, te subiste a mi cabeza. Quiero beber de tus besos. Tú eres mi postre de fresa. Amor. Eres mi amor. Amor. Que no se te olvide, mujer. Amor. Eres mi amor. Amor. Tú eres mi amor. Amor.
Go back.
Tú eres mi amor. Amor. Qué rico. Tú eres mi amor. Amor. Tú eres mi amor. Amor.
All right. We do run it, but that's where we're stopping today. How's everyone feeling? Quick check-in. How's everyone feeling?
Oh, that was my jam. You stopped on the wrong song.
You can't do that on Facebook
We could
Live.
have switched
Well, you can't do
Mi
that on
Amora.
Facebook Live.
We could have switched out that. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna stop.
That was a little bit more. I'm just gonna say it's a little bit more twerking in there, and we're just not doing that on Facebook. As much as I tried to think
So you
about
are your sister's keeper.
how I could do that, and it just was not working out. So
So you are definitely your sister's keeper. I appreciate that. You're your sister's keeper.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna tell you now, when you said Zumba, I was like, well, I'm gonna bow out gracefully at this time because I I have a I don't do Zumba mentality, but that was good. I was good, especially now that we quarantine. I think I might have to get into that Zumba because the idea of it was like, but then once I started doing it, I was like, oh, this is quarantine approved because you get to be moving and you ain't going nowhere. Ain't nobody see you
I
out
saw
there
a lot of
looking
smiles
uncoordinated.
as
Looking
you were doing it. I saw a lot of smiles out there. So even if you're like not doing the steps, it's like, I don't care, I'm having fun. And you just, you enjoy it.
It's so funny though. Like
I'm glad you didn't bow out. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was
Me
just
too.
I was just laughing. I was just thinking about like being on camera doing exercises and how like I was more conscious of like my face. I was like, you said we were smiling. I was like,
I saw a lot of teeth. I don't know if you were happy or you were just like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing it right. But either way, I was like, okay, it's good.
It was fun.
Mine was more laughing at myself because I'm like, I don't look anything like what she's doing.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be all right.
I enjoyed it.
The point
Okay.
too. Just keep moving, have fun, laugh a little, because laughing is medicine too. Then
Yeah.
kind of like all of that wrapped in one.
So
Thank you, Muslima.
yes, thank you so much. So I have a question. So for anybody who's watching, who's like, okay, how can I, like, is there some YouTube more instructors or videos that we could watch, or as we are at home and trying to get into, like, if I'm interested in Zumba or some other types of workouts, is there some that you would recommend?
There are free ones. I like this couple, Fitness Blender. They've been doing it for quite some time. They have all levels. They're free. They have 10-minute. They have 20-minute. I'm going to type it in the chat. Fitness Blender. And they have all levels. They have all times. They have all types. They cover the gamut. They have been doing this for a while, and they are in it to win it. Kiara Lachey. Kiara Lachey has, I hope I spell her name properly, Shae, I believe. She has some really fun dance workouts, very fun dance workouts. And she even gets a little bit more into, I know, with especially because we're doing this on Facebook Live with Facebook, they're real particular about the formats of music that you could use. So even and that's also another thing. Like, I don't think I could have played the Run the Girls Zumba. I could, because they always change the songs a little bit. But when it's just a song that's like off of the radio, Facebook gets a little funny about that. But she has very a variety of music. She gets into a little bit of hip hop and stuff like that. As well. Off the top of my head, that is who I can think of.
Okay. Are they on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hanging Tight. Who was her name? Hanging. Yes, these people are all on YouTube. I think it's Mark like that. She tends to incorporate a little bit more strength training. But all these people have a variety and incorporate all four aspects of fitness. So I really do like them, and they're professionals. They have great lighting and all that beautiful stuff. So I would recommend them to start. Just once again, anybody who you would follow, especially on YouTube or Instagram, just to make sure that they are certified. Most people who post Zumba is pretty tight about their licensing. So most people who would post a Zumba something or another are certified Zumba instructors. So typically they're legit. You know, I can't vouch for every single one of them because there's thousands out there. But typically they're legit. And Fitness Blender, Kiara Lachey, those are two that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
Cool. Awesome. Any other questions from our listening audience, or those of us who are on Zoom for our illustrious guest?
Just really quick, I think as we get older, our knees and our back are not what they used to be.
Listen,
just some tips for the for the knees and back. What can we do to protect them and keep them? Yeah.
Lift weights.
Pre-pioneer stage.
Lift weights, for real. Lift weights. Squats. And squats I love them because they're like 50 types of squats, maybe not that many, but you don't have to do very, very deep. And as a society, we just don't squat. A lot of other societies that, especially those that eat on like family gatherings kind of on a spread on the floor, they sit in a squatting position. That's really good for core and strengthening your pelvis, but squats for sure. And if you could add weights while you're lifting, while you're doing squats, yes, because it is your knees that are bothering you, but it's your knees that are bothering you because your muscles are weak, right? And so then instead of your muscles kind of absorbing some of the impact, then your knees are taking all the impact, and then your knees start to hurt. People think your knees are going bad, and I mean, that's what you feel, but it's your muscles that are weak. And so strengthening your quadriceps, your front muscle, your front thigh muscle, and your hamstrings, your back thigh muscle, all of that helps to strengthen your knee complex. Squats also work really well for your back. Typically, back issues are a result of a weak front. So then you're overcompensating in the back. So core exercises, and specifically, I will say abs exercises for this one's, crunches done properly, sit-ups done properly, bicycles done properly. Bicycles, especially because that works your entire core complex, your obliques and the six pack, your just abdominal muscles. That is something that I would incorporate just in everyday life. Working your way up to where you can do like 100 bicycles a day. Seriously, because a lot of times that back is the weak core, and the weak core is not, judging you weak core, especially if you had a little person, you stretch those muscles. Even if they come back, they're different. We know this. So that is typically a result of a weaker core. If you have severe core issues, I am not a paid spokesperson for this program, but I have used it. This is my first time postpartum using it this time, and I highly recommend it. Mutu system. It is phenomenal. If you've had a diastasis recti, yes, it is phenomenal for getting the core in shape. It's less than $150. It's a 12-week program, and once you access it, you have it for life. So you can do it over and over again if you need to, or you could do it once, do it slowly. But it's a complete kind of core enhancement program, and I highly recommend it. It is
MUTU?
MUTU. I'm going to write it in the comments.
There was a question from for pioneers.
Yes.
Sister Hamdia. She asked about exercises for pioneers.
So exercises for pioneers don't have to slow down. It doesn't have to be, it can still be whatever you choose for it to be, depending on your ability, right? So I don't know exactly who I'm speaking to right now, but I would say take an assessment of your ability and then start small. Ideally, walking is very highly encouraged for preventing falls, number one. Some kind of strength exercises, using light weights. So this is a 3-pound weight. 2 and 3 pound weights are good for seniors. Wrist mobility, walking, doing bicep curls, things of that nature. You want to do some of the same things at a rate that's according to your ability, if that makes sense. I hope I'm being very clear about that. I don't want to say, because we have so many different levels of what we could be dealing with. If walking is something that you struggle with, then walk. If walking with a walker is where you are, walk with the walker. If walking down a hallway is what you have to deal with, then walk down a hallway. If you have access to outside and walking miles is what you can do, then do that. Seniors are not limited to sitting exercises, although those are very good if that's your mobility level. There are Silver Sneakers specifically has quite a few wide range of exercises for seniors that include all four of cardio, strength, balance, and flexibility. Silver Sneakers is specifically designed for seniors, so I would recommend looking them up. And then I'm not sure about certain areas. The library systems have exercises for seniors, or there are specific senior centers that will be good resources for things specifically for seniors. But I can absolutely say walking 100% without a doubt, walking should be happening 20 minutes a day, ideally every day, at least 20 minutes a day, starting there. And then if you're it's never too late to start. So if you're getting into something, then slowly adding weights, light weights. So we want to take into mind our ability and the age and the type of stress we want to put on our body as a pioneer, but we still want to be able to move and have a good quality of life.
I just want to ask one follow-up question, just because I think she had to drop, but only because you mentioned the falls, having a balance in core. Can you recommend some exercises that pioneers can do at home right now if they want to, just to strengthen that core?
Core strengthening exercises for pioneers are typically done upright, and I'm just going to actually just demonstrate them, so that way if they happen to catch the video. So what are we doing? Holding onto the back of a chair, lifting a leg, and holding that pose for up to a minute. Gentle squat, so it'll just be a very slight bend of the knee there. When you think about what seniors should do, the really best thing to do is to look at babies, right? And so you want to walk wide, and then you want to walk narrow. Walk backwards if you can. Walk heel to toe as if you're on a balance beam, right? So walking, that leg lift and holding onto the back of a chair for stability is really important, and being able to do that for up to a minute. You might start with 10 seconds or 30 seconds. The exercises are not, big exercises, or you have to do them for a long period of time. Walking, balance beam walking, which is called heel to toe walking. And then walking frontwards, doing that frontwards and backwards. If you have to hold on to a chair, as I was doing that, or a countertop or a railing, if you have it in your house, those type of activities specifically for seniors are crucial. And this is something that we don't think about, particularly in our, I don't know what our age is called, this age that we're at, but it's also things that we want to incorporate. Just occasionally play around, get on your curve and see what your balance is like, because that's also kind of a sign of core strength as well. So those are things that we should start doing, just kind of taking a note of, hey, I couldn't walk along that curve without falling off. I might want to do that some more and see how we're doing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Are there any more questions?
Alrighty. Well, we really appreciate you joining us this morning. This was fantastic. You did an amazing job, and we really appreciated all the wealth of information that you shared with us. We appreciate you getting us up and moving. I don't think my heart has beat that fast in a while, so I'm not ashamed to admit it, although I do go walking. But that much cardio activity was great, and I feel good. So that's a sign that I can continue to do this. So again, we really, really appreciate you sharing all the wealth of information you shared with us. And if somebody wants to reach out to you again, follow her on Facebook. What is it?
Dr. Ali.
Dr. Ali.
Fitness Doc. On
Fitness Doc.
Facebook or Instagram. I do typically respond to messages within 24 hours on either of those platforms, but at Dr. Ali Fitness Doc on social media.
And so that you can learn more information. And again, this was brought to you by Muslim Collective as part of our self-alignment session. So we hope that you will join us again the third Saturday of October, which I think is October 17th, for our next session. We also are having our game night on, I think it's October 3rd, which is the first Saturday of the month. So be sure to join us back here on Facebook. So a couple of other things before we close out. This is our first time and we love the feedback. So please, if you would give us your feedback on how this session went. I am putting it in the chat for the people on Zoom, and I will put it in the chat for those who are watching us on Facebook. So please, we really appreciate your feedback on how this went, any suggestions you have for what we can add to the sessions, any topics you would like to us to cover, or particular presenters you would like us to reach out to. Please provide that so that we can continue to improve upon what we are doing. I also want to give a quick announcement to, sorry, I'm trying to type and talk at the same time, for an upcoming event that Muslimat Collective is sponsoring. It is for the Culture Night that is going to be happening next Friday. I think that's September 25th at 7 p.m. The tickets are free. But you have to get one in order to get access to this event. So Basima, can you help me out a little bit and talk a little bit about it, because she's one of our hosts, while I put this in the chat, please?
Yeah, sure. So it is part of the 10th anniversary celebration of Masjid WDM, right here in Houston. And so, of course, with everything we do, we have to represent for our culture, and that's what we plan to do. So we have some really great acts lined up. And if you don't know, then definitely we'll be providing a link, I guess, and sharing some information very soon on our Facebook page so that you can go and register. So you don't want to miss it.
Let me see if I can share my screen real quick so I could just show you the flyer, I think. Come on, mouse. It's not gonna let me be. Hold on just a second.
Nothing or no?
Let me have to use my laptop. There we go. All right, so that's the flyer for, let's see if I can make this bigger. There we go. That's the flyer for the event. Can you all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So again, it's hosted by Basima and Yusuf Nance. And if you don't come for anything else, come for them, because they are such a dope, dynamic couple and hosts and hostesses. But we were having performances from Anna Frey, Abdul Rauf, who is a saxophone, horn instrument player, Tyler Kian, which is a spoken word artist, Daima, she just does it all with her voice, and Jonathan and Bibi with our spoken word and comedy stylings of Preacher Moss. So we are sponsored. We'll post that information on our page so that you can check it out, and where you can go and get your tickets. So
We'll also have a special announcement.
Say it again.
So we'll have a special announcement.
Oh yeah, and Muslimat Collective will have a special announcement during the event. Thank you.
Yeah.
This is more of my team keeping me on point. So thank you, I appreciate it. Anything else I forgot? Okay, so action items. First thing, if you're not a follower of our page, please go like us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Check us out on our website. And then after that, join us again on October 3rd, I believe it is, for our game night, which is at 6 p.m. And then come back for our next session with another guest host on October 17th. And we'll see you then. So if there's nothing else, we can go ahead and release you for today. Again, thank you to all of our participants here, as well as online who stayed with us. We do this for you, so we appreciate your support in this endeavor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Ali.
Absolutely.
Enjoyed it.
Pleasure. I appreciate you all having me. It's been fun.
Let me see if I can get this mouse to work so I can.